political crisis in Rivers State continues to unfold almost 2 years after contentious issues that arose from state and national elections. Interventions for peace have been made and sadly frustrated by the comportment of major players in the conflict. The state governor, Siminalayi Fubara, and critically so, former governor and current minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, stakeholders in Rivers State are at a crossroads regarding what must be done to find a lasting solution to the crisis and for citizens of the state to begin to enjoy the dividend of democracy. While a former special advisor to Nyesom Wike, Opunabo, Ino-Tariah, joins us now to have a quick discussion about this conversation. Let's join him now. Thank you so much for being here. If you can hear me, Mr. Opunabo.
Good afternoon.
Okay, fantastic.
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Good afternoon.
Thank you for being here. The political turmoil in Rivers State has dragged on despite efforts to stabilize the state for a very long time now. In your opinion, when we look at the root causes of this crisis, why do you think that previous efforts to resolve it have failed thus far?
Well, thank you very much. But first and foremost, it's quite simple, and I'll be very fast, given the short time I'm allowed to speak on your program. It's just the pestilence of godfatherism, like I always say, where you have somebody who believes that he is the liege lord and others are the liege servants. And that is why you have this pestering. It's either you remain subservient or I'll crush you. I'm talking of the FCT minister who himself has said he will continue to cause trouble, give the governor of Rivers State trouble in the state. Now let's look at the recent luncheon that took place in Rivers State. I think that was last week Saturday. I'm yet to fathom the whole importance of the essence of that luncheon. But you will agree with me that it has twin reasons. One, to wheedle Mr. President and the judiciary. When I say the judiciary, we are talking of now the Supreme Court. And also to cast aspersions on the governor. There he said, he referred to the governor as a serpent, which is infradig. We are talking of a sitting governor. You refer to him as a serpent. And you thank God that you were not poisoned by the serpent. And you ask yourself, then what will the likes of Rotimi Amechi, the likes of Odili, and the likes of former President Goodluck Jonathan say? They will also say, thank God we are not poisoned by you, because you betrayed all of them. Having said that, I really don't even want to dwell on that. Let us go into the nitty-gritty of the matter. We are talking of the defection. You see, I'm happy that the matter is before the Supreme Court, because it's going to enrich our jurisprudence. And the Supreme Court will tell us at the end of the day, sensitize us to the actuality of the efficacy of Section 109 and 102. We will all wait for the Supreme Court judgment. Now you talked of defection. I listened to my brother, Magnus Abi, a sound mind, when he said he defected to another political party, probably the APC, from PDP to the APC, and his seat was not declared vacant. I asked a simple question, and I want the world to give a penetrating thought to what I'm saying, and also for the Supreme Court justices to take this under advisement. I humbly suggest. No doubt, you defected from a political party to the other, and your seat was not declared vacant. The first question I asked, does one illegality justify another illegality? That is number one. Number two, are the circumstances the same? Because there are extenuating circumstances in the case of defection. You have extenuating circumstances. The law prescribes certain situations where you can defect. So are the circumstances the same? And in this particular case of defection, because the luncheon was to honor the purported assembly members, the State of Assembly members that had defected, about 27 of them. Okay, now, for example, now, these assembly members were defected, and it was well celebrated. Tony Okocha said he tried to woo them but they declined. I mean, that's mendacious. Because it was a public show. The media, they invited the media to when the members were defeated. Antonio Okocha accepted them, received them. Beyond Antonio Okocha, Mr. President himself said that if new babies are born into his family, will he reject them? Referring to the defectors. Then again, they went to court and deposed to an affidavit as APC members. So it is now left for the 27 former assembly members to agree whether they should be tried for perjury or they should go with the consequences of defection. It's up to them. Because you deposed to an affidavit as APC members in court. You deposed to that affidavit. So the issue of procedural obligations, the issue of you have to write to the ward, the issue of you have to do this, those things are completely immaterial. Because you have deposed to an affidavit saying you're a member of the APC. So are you saying you lied under oath? So you go to court to explain that. And those are the issues we want the Supreme Court justice to also look into. Then again, you know, Senator Magnus Abbey said something. He raised very salient points, I must tell you. Like I said, you can't take the issue of intelligence away from him. He said, you early principal members, for example, the Senate President also, must declare that seat vacant. Okay, in a situation where the principal members and other members defected, who declares the seat vacant? That's why I say it's also going to enrich our jurisprudence. Who declares that seat vacant? Are we going to allow the legislative arm to be comatose? Will that not hamstring the function of governance in the state? These are the issues, burning issues that must be addressed. So because these other members, the principal officers defected, and in a situation where you also wrote to INEC to declare those seats vacant and also to conduct by-elections into those seats, and INEC declines for one reason or the other, are you going to say that we are going to bring to a halt the functions of governance? Because we all know the importance of the legislative arm in a democracy. We all know. It's a desideratum. So are you going to say right now that, okay, because this person is defected, therefore the legislative arm is now extinct, it can no longer function? Because the principal officer is defected and there's nobody to declare their seats vacant? These are some of the burning issues that we need to address.
And you're right.
As for the assembly members, they have to tell us, they have to choose between perjury, because they deposed an affidavit, which is a public record. They have to choose between perjury and losing their seats.
Well, there you have it.
It's up to them. The choice is theirs.
A very well laid out map of exactly what the issues are. I was thanking you for laying out exactly what the issues are. We are out of time, but we do want to thank you, former Special Advisor to Nyesom Wike, Opunabo, Ino-Tariah. Thank you for coming in and discussing with us here on Newsday.